I'm an old school guy. What's up, y'all?
Isn't that Rihanna? Is
That's
that
Ti.
Rihanna's song? Oh,
Yeah, live your life.
okay.
It's an old joint.
Yeah. Because I remember the song, but you're right. Was Rihanna on that or something?
I don't know, man. That's a good question.
Yeah. Because I know
But
that, like you said, I know it's Ti, but I think Rihanna's on there. That's why.
yeah,
That's why I thought about her.
yeah. What's up, people?
That's that ATL sound, bro.
That ATL sound. That's what. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. Oh, now you claim the ATL. Oh, okay. Let your Delaware folks hear you say that.
Oh, my
Oh,
Delaware
you done forgot where you came from, fool.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? I see y'all coming in slowly. Do me a favor as you come in. Make sure that you are letting everybody know that we're on. I need you to add some people. I need you to share. I need you to like. I need you to comment. Those of you that are watching on our YouTube channel, I need you to subscribe there. Uh, let's have a ball. Live your life. You steady chasing that paper. Live your life.
I gotta use that on one of my on my I'm gonna have to use that on my TikTok today, man. I like that because I like that song. I like that stuff. I'm gonna use it on my TikTok
Yes,
today.
sir, man. Yes, sir. Hey.
For those of y'all that haven't, I need y'all to the ones that might already be on there. You got to go to Donald Morton's page and check out that profile picture on there. Just go there and check it out. You ain't got to stay there. Just go there and check it out.
Listen, listen. We have gotten so much, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. We've gotten so many just great reviews about the merch that's coming out. Congratulations for the new rebrand. I'm getting text messages and calls. So yeah, it's really dope to witness. So do me a favor, y'all, as you come on, at everyone, at highlight, at something, right? Let everybody know. Yeah, it's a must have. And I got some things to say about this as well. About the merch. Uh yeah, I got some things to say about the merch. Yeah, Dwight, it's a must have, bro. Ain't no doubt about it. So let me do some preliminary work and let me add on my page, tell everybody to show up. Let's see. Hey Leroy, I don't know whether this has happened on your page, man, but when I do add now, it doesn't highlight anymore. Um, it just
Well, the on your regular page, you got to do the at followers and at highlight.
yeah. So on my regular page, it only does now at followers. It
Right,
won't even
right,
show
yeah,
me at highlights anymore.
yeah. I noticed that too. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't notice that too.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
did
I
notice
just
that
want to
too.
make sure it just wasn't somebody acting funky with my account. You know,
Nah.
I need to, because I call people. I call
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And
You call Mark up. Be like, Mark, what's going on?
I call Mark like my man. This is remain, bro.
Yeah. you
this,
know.
this is remain, my guy. I need you to let's see, at everyone there. Let me go to my regular page, Donald Morton, remain, and let me put some things here too. Let me see. Let me look for myself. Oh, what? Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh man, oh you done did it this morning, boy.
Oh boy.
Woo! Yes, sir.
It looks like my baby is on. Good morning, La. She is on watching from the job. She
Yo,
can't.
that beat right there, and that's one of the hardest beats ever. I think Jay-Z got the Jigga got the hardest. No, R&B and Rakim got the hardest beat with I Ain't No Joke. That's the hardest beat ever in hip hop history. But Jigga got one too, and I'm trying to think of the song. I can't think. It's on the top of my head. Can't think of it right now. But Jigga got a hard one too. But this is hard too by Eminem. That one moment that gets you just start you start rocking. You like, yeah, it's about to be
What y'all
on.
know about this? This is the Grown Man Podcast. It's not for little boys, not for little girls. It's a grown man podcast. Leroy. Let me turn this off to get us, man. You know, Facebook will try to get us.
I know, yeah, definitely copyrights, bro. Yeah,
they'll try to get us. But I wanted to make sure y'all heard some good old music.
That's hip hop. That's hip hop right there, bro. That is hip hop.
Leroy, who else? Who else comes on here and rocks out like this? This is the way we do it. Y'all do it the way you want to do it. This is the way we do it on the.
But this the way podcast. We do it.
Have y'all noticed Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr.'s picture is now up on? Yeah. Dwight said no copyright violate. Yeah, I don't want to do that, bro. I don't want to violate no copyrights. I took it down.
See, here's my thing, and I guess for those attorneys that we might have here that do copyrights, I thought in order for something to be copyright infringement, it had to have a monetary gain behind
it. And perhaps they view podcasts like that, like the more popular a podcast becomes and its ability to monetize what it's doing, then I can see, listen, we're not trying to gain off of the artist. I appreciate the music.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate what they've done for the culture, right? I'm blackety black. I'm blackety black. I'm Spades playing black. You understand? I'm Spades playing black. So Dwight Robinson said, yes, I see it. Yeah, the Negro is up on the the Negro. The Negro is
we look like, I know Marla get a kick out of this. We look like we got a real podcast.
We look like we got a real podcast.
We look like
y'all make me sick, man. For real. Listen to me, y'all. Remand is for real. It's not. It is not some. It is not some, fly by night organization.
No, sir, not at all.
Look. Now, Crystal Fendi Styles Clark, yes, with the A's. It ain't even yes with the E's.
Bro.
Yes, with the A's. Dr. Leroy, you on the billboard. Our brother is sharing.
Remand is a real program, and I got the scars to prove it.
Remand is a real program. And both of us, yes, have the scars to prove it without question. And so I'm incredibly, incredibly excited. For those of you, oh my God, look at the cat.
I told you, dude, you got to do one with the hoodie on, man. I'm telling you, you got to do that picture.
With
I
the
don't know.
hoodie on the
Yeah,
yeah.
with the hat showing.
I'll do that later today. I'll probably do that for those of you that don't know. This is the Tell It What It Is show. That's exactly what this is. This is the Tell It What It Is show. It's unlike any other podcast. This is for grown men. And by the time you make the stage, just come like a grown man. Don't
Yes,
just
sir.
come like a grown man, because this is a grown man. This is the Grown Man Podcast. It is formally known. What is it formally known as, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr.?
the grown man podcast.
For those of you that don't know, the brother has some influence in my life, right? So he's like a Donald, my spiritual father. You know, Romy Coles, a friend of mine in Cleveland, Ohio. Everybody's like, not my dad. My dad, you know, I don't know that he has seen any video of me cussing. Probably has. Right? I'm all over the place. But people have said, "Hey Don, what's up, man, with your language? What's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, that's me all day. That's always been me. I just have not expressed it publicly in an open forum, right?" But let's see. I keep baiting him, Dwight. He won't take the bait, man. I bait him every single day. I have been baiting Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. every single day since I've met him. And without any exaggeration, he has not come close to taking the bait. He just will not take the bait, right? I've seen him upset. I've seen him on 10. I've seen him calm. I've seen him joke. None of those things take him to the place where he will use a language, insolent language. He won't use insolent language.
I told you what my best friend back in high school did when we riding around in my car, right? So we having a conversation, and he was just like, he's like, "Dude, you ain't never cursed." I'm like, "No, bro." He's like, "Not one." I know. He's like, "Go ahead and say a curse word for me, just one."
Just one. Let's test your humanity. Let's make sure you're not a bot. Let's make sure you're not a bot or something. So say a cuss word or something, and he refuses. He refuses to do it. So good morning, people. We done played T.I., Live Your Life. We done played Eminem. We done listen. We really about that life today. And before we put the hoodies up, let me just kind of do a commercial. The books, I keep going to the front door. The books.
He looking out the blinds.
Looking up
for the UPS. They there yet?
The books are on their way. The books are on their way. They are on the truck.
Transit. Like to see that notice in transit. That means it's on the way.
Out for delivery.
Yeah.
It told me it's out for delivery.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, out for delivery. Yeah, not in transit. Out for delivery.
Yeah, they'll be here
out for delivery.
7:00 tonight. As you know, when they get here, I gotta come on live. I got to. Leroy got to come on live. We got to come on live together. We got to be able to open up the box together, right? And then I'll be signing books over the course of these next several days and sending them to you so that you have them. Now, listen, there are many of you that are getting have a right to kind of this box of goodies, right? That we have planned for you. And you will get that experience, but you won't get it with the book. The book is going to come first. And why? Why, Donald? Why won't we get it with the book? Here's why. Because The book has taken us so long to be able to get to you. I don't want to delay it another day. I just don't want to delay it another day. You have had the digital version of the book so that you can kind of read it. We've gotten great feedback from the digital version of the book, but there's nothing like holding in your hands the physical
Yes, sir.
copy of the book. So we're going to send it off. You're still going to get your box experience because there's some other stuff that we're going to send to y'all just because you are VIP early purchaser of the Remand book, The Spiritual Journey from Mastering Life, Leadership, and Legacy. So just know that that's on its way to you this week, over the next couple of days. I'll probably just, Leroy, I think this is what I'm going to do, man. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread all the books on the bed and sleep with the books. I'm going to spread all the books on the bed, sleep with the books. And I'm gonna sleep with my hoodie on.
I think Marla might have something to say about this. Like, Negro, what are you doing?
What is this? Like, what are you doing?
She like, I'm gonna give you remand, but daggone it, they ain't sleeping in the bed with me.
For sure. Crystal has a great idea. Y'all need to send T.I. the book and invite him for an interview. Yeah, that's a very, very good idea. There are several people like T.I. My wife is at work, and look at her response. Look at her response, Leroy. No, sir, no, sir, you're not.
I told you. I told you.
No, sir, you're not. Let's see. And so let's see. I knew I needed the eavesdrop. Yeah, you needed the eavesdrop. I didn't expect that you would comment, but you needed the eavesdrop. Let's see. Crystal says, I will not purchase the book after that comment. Yeah. Sales just went down because it's a little creepy to sleep, a little weird to sleep to sleep with the book. Leroy said, I know, right? Leroy's already purchased this copy, so his copy coming to him regardless.
I better get both my copies. I got two of them.
You got two copies, yes. So both of your copies are coming. So whatever I choose to do, you've already purchased your copies. They will be on their way to you. If you choose not to open them because you're concerned with, whether or not I slept with the book or not. Right then. I mean, that's you. Dwight Robinson says, making it plain. Yeah, for real. So Crystal says that's weird. Who wants a used book? It's not a used book. It's a new book. Listen, man. I'm just happy about the book. Y'all are such haters out there, dude. For real. Y'all such haters. Lala won't let me sleep with the book. Crystal said it's weird. Leroy said I don't want it. If that okay. I'll take that off the table. I'll just sign it and send it when the books come. How's that? Lala said, "No, you're not."
Yeah, that's not happening.
Oh God from heaven. Listen, before we put the hoodies up, in about 9 minutes, we'll put the hoodies up. But let me tell you, in addition to the Remand book, we have gotten great response for the hoodies. If you desire a hoodie, Remand hat, you can let us know about that, and we will get that out to you as well. Leroy, let me tell you what was declared to me today in my spirit, though, for real. The Remand merch, and this is for every brother, right, who dares to don. Remember that word, Leroy, don. The Remand merch. This is not a fashion statement. It's a declaration.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Right? It's saying to the world, I'm committed to remanning my life. I'm committed to remanning this world. I'm committed to remanning my family. I'm going home. So before you purchase the merch, know what it stands for. This is not just fashion. The the logo is fire. It's so much meaning behind it, right? The entire logo is fire. The merch is fire. But understand, this is not just about us selling hoodies. I'm not in the hoodie business. I'm creating a movement, right? I wanted to declare to you every single day you put it on, I'm gonna do the right thing today. I'm gonna handle my business today. I'm after mastery today. It's Leroy, I want you to talk about this a bit, man. And then I want to talk about Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, both. Nick Saban retired, Bill Belichick parting ways with New England Patriots. We got to talk about that. That's history because that's meaningful. There's something that it means, right? But when you put on the hoodie and you put on the hat, or you drinking from the mug, or whatever you're doing, you got the socks on, you got the pajamas on, you got sweats, you got a whole sweatsuit on, whatever you got a tracksuit, whatever you got on. That's remain. You're declaring to the world a call to action. That's what it's about. It's a movement. This isn't just about looking good. You're gonna look good when you put the merch on, but there's a meaning behind it all. Leroy, talk about that a bit, man. Then I want to talk about Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. Then we're gonna put the hoodies up.
No, understand this, man. Man, it's a culture. It's a mindset. It's a, like you just said, it's a way of, it's a lifestyle. It's a committed to a certain way of living. It's a committed lifestyle that we have taken on. Yeah, like you said, the it goes well, the name and the merch and all of that stuff may look good or whatever, but it's not. It's more than just putting on that hoodie or wearing that hat. It means something. You and I have had this conversation, and at first we were like, nah, we ain't trying to have everybody that can have this.
Right,
Because we
right,
ain't trying to have, it be the brand being misrepresented,
right,
because it has a standard.
right,
Reman is a standard.
right, bro. Yeah,
Don't get that twisted.
yeah.
It is a standard.
That part.
It's a standard of living. And we believe that. Although I know the fellas up in here in the community, they believe that
Yeah,
it's a mindset, it's a way of living. We're committed to living a certain way, and so we ain't having brothers that's gonna be knuckleheads and all that stuff
absolutely,
around here. Like,
Ab-
nah, no sir, no
absolutely,
sir.
absolutely. You
Yeah,
want,
so
sisters. You want a solid dude.
right now,
Uh,
sisters, if
yeah.
a brother roll up and he got on the reman outfit, yeah, you got a couple questions you need to ask
You got a
him.
couple questions, and
Yeah.
and and so do we.
Yep. Exactly.
So do we. You don't get a chance to wear this merch and not abide by the standard. We're not talking about perfection. We're talking about growth. We're talking
Yep.
about responsibility. We're talking about ethicality. We're talking about mastery, right? We're talking about excellence. We're talking about authenticity, right? Being a spiritual man, having your spirit man clean. We're talking about that. So that by the time you step to a sister, she has a right to say, okay, tell me who you are. Like, how would you define yourself? And if you can't answer that, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, sis, run. You in trouble. He just got
Yep.
the merch on. He just bought the hoodie.
Yep. That's all you did because you thought it looked good. You thought it was a fashion statement.
And
It
it
was
does.
it
Oh
it
my
was it
God.
was trendy. You thought it was trending.
You,
You
you
know.
know.
Oh yeah, I got to get on that reman train. No sir. No sir.
No, sir. No, sir. Seats occupied. We can create a seat for you, but you gotta be serious about this work.
Yeah, you
We
got to earn that ticket. You
You
got to
gotta
earn
earn
that
that ticket.
ticket.
You gotta earn that ticket. Hey, Leroy, what do you say about Bill Belichick, man, stepping down from the Patriots, Nick Saban retiring from the entire game? What say you, man? That's major.
I think it's honestly when I saw Nick Saban, I think this year, if you look at Alabama, they're no longer the dominant team that they used to be. I don't think he's seeing the landscaping of college football and the recruiting, the way that recruiting is going now with this new portal thing, that's changing the landscape and it's leveling it's leveling the field as far as recruiting is going and the NIL. I think those two things are changing the game, and I don't know if I agree with either one of them. But that's the NIL deals that these players can get, and that transfer portal. Those are changing the dynamics of college football
What
and
explain a
basketball.
bit?
It's going to do. I think it's going to do it in basketball as well too. So.
Explain a bit the transfer portal. I'm not so sure I even understand it in its fullness.
Well, from what I understand, because I don't either, but what I understand is a student athlete can decide. I guess up to their eligibility, and this is all of the sports in college. This is women's and men's. This is men and women. They have it, but they can decide to transfer to another school if they choose to. Now I don't know what the what the criteria is for them to be able to say, hey, I want to leave, but they can say, hey, I don't like it here. I don't like the coach. I don't like the whatever. So I'm going to enter the transfer portal and see what other colleges would be interested in me, giving me a scholarship, because that's what it is. They have to get a scholarship in that portal.
Got it.
So that's what it is, and Deion is using it as a part of his as his strategy.
Okay,
getting players out of that transfer portal, because I think this year was the largest number of guys that had entered that transfer portal.
Okay.
So, like I said, it's changing the dynamics of college sports.
Got it.
That one very thing, because you got so many people that, hey, I'm not getting, you could have a player, hey, I want more time. I'm not getting my time.
Wow. And so you enter the transfer portal. And I'm assuming then, as a part of the transfer portal, you just kind of up for grabs for any coach to be able to say, got it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I don't know whether I like that either. Quite honestly, I don't know whether I like that either. I think there's something to be said about commitment. And I think that there's something to be said about finishing what you start. That's why, for me, the Michael Jordans of the world, the Kobe Bryants of the world are different than the LeBron Jameses of the world, who go to different teams and craft these
KD.
Yeah. So for me, give me a Kobe Bryant who starts and finishes with the team. Give me a Mike Jordan who starts and finishes with as it relates to a successful run with the Chicago Bulls. Of course, he played for Washington, but it was essentially over by that time, right? Give me a guy who is able to win with the culture of the team that he started with. I have an inordinate amount of respect for that brother in comparison to these guys that just kind of hop from team to team looking for a way to win a championship. Yeah, I don't know that I have as much respect for that. If those of you that are watching, if you know anything about Nick Saban or Bill Belichick, my wife she's gonna ask if Bill Belichick is a Dallas Cowboy. Yeah, because she thinks everything is good is Dallas Cowboys, right? The answer is no. It is Bill Belichick, New England Patriots, 6 championships. It's crazy.
No, he got 7.
7?
No, 6. I'm sorry, because Brady got his 7. Brady got his 7 one with the Buccaneers. I'm sorry, with the you're right. You're right.
So 6 championships.
And he has 8 rings.
8 rings because he was
the defensive coordinator with the Giants. He won 2 with them with Bill Parcells, because he came from under Bill Parcells.
Got it. Good morning. Good morning. We don't know who you are though. Uh, let me tell you what Facebook user means for me, right? So when someone comes and they says good morning to us, and we thank you for saying good morning, because people just kind of pop in and uh Dallas is whack. I don't know who you are, but you are right. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. But when you
He's about to say something. He gonna give you some leeway now that you done said
I'm gonna give you
Dallas
some
is whack.
leeway. I'm gonna, I'm gonna give you some leeway. But oh,
That's
Ronnie
funny.
Walker, what's
That's
up,
funny.
bro? Good to see you. And Crystal said that's my sister. Who is your sister?
You talking about
Crystal.
Marla, ain't you? When you were talking about
I
oh,
don't think
okay.
so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She said, "Don't hide behind Facebook user." Lala, Lala protecting her team. Oh, Trisha Grace is Crystal's sister. Hey, Trisha, thank you for hanging out with us. Um, yeah. So when you come on the Grown Man Podcast, we love all of our growing audience. We're really appreciative that you guys hang out with us. Um, and 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know who chose this time, right? I have no idea.
You did.
I shared the podcast on my page. Oh, thanks, Crystal. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. I think Leroy chose this time. Uh, y'all want him on the banner. He on the banner. You want him on the billboard. He on the billboard. So I'm gonna put all of it in his lap. Leroy is the one that chose 10 o'clock in the morning, right? But it seems to work. It seems to work for everybody. Even if people are just able to kind of listen in and not participate, but everybody seems to be participating. Our audience, bruh, our friends, our family, because I view everybody that comes on like family, man. These
Yeah.
they hang out with us every single day. They ain't gotta hang out with us. They don't gotta watch us clown, but they do. And somebody came on and said Dallas is whack. Yeah, let me put that up again because I love the feel of that. The feel of someone who would have the courage to tell the truth. Um, yeah, Ronnie Walker says my team, the Giants, is not doing well either. Yeah, who does the Giants play this week? Wait, Leroy, I'm being serious, man. I'm being serious. Hey, Ronnie Walker. Because Ronnie Walker is our relationship coach at Remand.
Why you walk up to Ronnie and just slap him in the
No,
face, bro? That's what you did. You walked up to him and slapped him right in the face, bro.
I just gotta ask him a question. I'm just asking a question, Leroy. You're antagonizing. I'm just asking. I'm asking a question. The question that I'm asking is, he said his team. Oh, Ronnie Walker said that about Dallas. So my wife, Ronnie, said, don't hide behind Facebook user. So Ronnie is now coming out, and he's saying it was me, Ronnie Walker, that said that about Dallas. He's saying it with his chest. My question, before we about to put the hoodies up, my question is real clear. Like, who is New York playing this week? Do they play Baltimore? Do they play do they play Philly? Because they're in the NFC, right? So do they play Philly? Do they play the Buccaneers? Do they play like who do y'all play this? No, that's not the question, Ronnie Walker. That's not the question. The question isn't whether or not you recently beat the Eagles. That's not the question.
Ronnie said, "Nah, bro." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna get
Ronnie,
you back."
Ronnie, that's not the question, my guy. Look, Lala asked the question: how did the Eagles do? Well, the Eagles are in the playoffs. We haven't played yet in the playoffs. The regular season is over. So we can talk whatever we want to talk about the regular season, how poorly we did in regular season, but we won enough to enter the playoffs, which um, I don't anticipate us winning in the playoffs. Leroy and I have talked about that off camera. I don't know that we'll win in the playoffs. I don't even care. Here's the deal. I have two teams now. Leroy, I have two teams now. Both of them have birds. So
And
Philadelphia.
ain't neither one. We're going to say one of them is in the playoffs. One of them is barely in the playoffs.
One of them is in the playoffs.
And one just missed the playoffs.
One of them just missed the playoffs. Because all I do is win, no matter what. Now you want to claim us. Claim who? I don't claim Dallas. No, ma'am. There is nothing that you could get me to do. Claim Dallas. Nothing.
I feel you on that.
Absolutely nothing. Right? Crystal says Marlon Michelle Morton, don't make him dinner tonight. He's disrespecting our team. Don't disrupt my house. What are you doing? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't disrupt my house. I gotta eat. I gotta. Oh. My wife said the Falcons. Yes. I am claiming the Falcons. My wife took me to my first Falcons game here, and Leroy, it's a whole vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, it's a whole party.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? And here's the whisper out there in the NFL now. The whisper in the NFL is that Bill Belichick may come to Atlanta Falcons. And if that happens, interesting, right? If that happens, then we'll see what look Ronnie Walker. We play no one. That is right. that is right. The New York Giants don't play anyone anymore. And in fact, y'all don't even play when y'all on the field.
He going for the jugular today. Right? Ronnie, he chose violence today, bro. I don't know what he had in his cereal. I don't know what he had in his Frosted Flakes this morning, but
Ronnie's my guy. That's my guy. I just got to find some pleasure in how some teams are sorry, because my team stinks right now. Absolutely sucks. Right. And so I have to admit they have been off the past few years. Few meaning what? Because your Eli, didn't they win a couple times with Eli?
Yeah, they got 2 chips with him.
They got 2 chips with Eli, right? So okay.
And they beat New England both times. They beat New England, yeah, I think in both Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Let's check that out. We'll fact check Leroy, because Leroy said something yesterday that I said no, that's not true, and it was absolutely true. It was absolutely true yesterday. So I always got to fact check Leroy, because he be throwing these stats out here, and he's I got to be right.
I'm sorry, that's the Republican side of me. Don't mind him. He just throwing facts out there. He just throwing alternative facts out there. I was right in my head.
It made sense in my head. He said, "Yep, twice beat them. We twice beat them."
It was twice. Yeah, it was those 2 Super Bowl. Matter of fact, yeah. That was the one that they had the perfect season until they got to the playoffs. I mean, until they got to the Super Bowl and lost to the Giants.
Yeah. All right, hoodies up.
Let's go.
Let's see if we can.
What we got today?
We are in a series, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. I just want to find this. I think I'm going to spend the majority of my time today with this up. I just want this up. Look at that. We'll spend our time today, Leroy, with that quote being up on the page. See it? Yeah. I want to sit that right there.
I tell
Uh,
you what, if they lose this weekend, it's gonna be some upset folks. Boy.
bruh, I have a video. I have a video. I think I still got it. Last year when Dallas lost.
Mm.
Dallas loses the playoffs every year. So I don't know why my son thought it would be any different. Last year when Dallas lost, I have a video of my son at like a stress room, a break room,
Okay.
just throwing haymakers at this punching bag, right? It's the funniest thing in the world because he's not even hitting it. He just throwing a bunch of punches. He's so angry. And I said, "Hey, bruh, like what's good?" He's like, "Dad, I'm so sick of this team. But every year he come back and he says, "Dad, this is our year, man. This is our year." Now, Lala, she don't really like the team, as those of you already know. She doesn't like the team. She just likes to antagonize me. That is her. She does it for sport. She likes to antagonize me, right? So today, we're the shade is real. Yes, the shade is real. I'm not a hater. I'm simply telling the truth about what we can expect from Dallas Cowboys, which is what we expect every year. That you have a great season, you go into the postseason, and you lose. Isn't that, Leroy? You're a man of history. Isn't that the history of the Dallas Cowboys?
Since what? Since they had Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, and Michael Irvin.
Yeah, and all them pop-ups now. Yeah,
1990s, in the 90s. That's it. You're talking 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
yes.
But
And I think their last win was when the goalpost was up front. You remember when the
but
goalpost
like
was not in the back of the end zone, it was up front. You would actually bust your behind running into the goal.
that pole ain't losing. I'm telling you, that pole ain't losing. That pole is not losing.
The pole, the pole was
The pole
underneath.
don't, it don't lose. Yeah, it don't lose. It don't lose. But like I told you, I was back in the day, and this was in the 70s. And as soon as Jerry Jones bought the team,
Yeah,
I was no longer a
because you were a
Cowboys
fan.
fan.
You were
Yeah,
a
I was
fan.
I was a Roger Staubach, Danny White. My favorite player
Yeah.
was Everson
Tony
Walls.
Dorsett. Yeah,
Everson Walls, Ed Too Tall Jones. I could
yeah,
give you the whole lineup.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
came in and Jerry Jones bought the team and did what he did, firing Tom Landry the way that he fired him. I was like, yeah, never again. And that
yeah.
team ain't been the same since then.
It hasn't been the same since. uh so we're forever grateful for having something to talk about. We know that Dallas will lose and we will have something to talk about. um Ronnie says I was always a Giants and Steelers fan. Okay.
Mm,
I,
I
I
couldn't stand the Steelers back in the day.
Yeah,
Hated this. I still hate the
you
Steelers.
still I was
I
about to
still
say
I still hate the
you still
Steelers.
don't like them.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to talk about today. Now that the hoodies are up, we always take a serious tone when the hoodies are up because
Yes, sir.
grown man podcast, right? We want to talk about grown man stuff, and right now we genuinely want to address. This is the topic, and will be the topic for the next several weeks. We're in political season, and I'm hoping, Leroy, that black men would take as seriously the issues around politics, the issues
Yeah.
around things like that, as we do our sports teams.
Yep.
We spent a good 40 minutes laughing and clowning about sports and the passion that we have around sports. Um, I want us to begin to have the same level of passion when it comes to the changes that need to exist in our community. We can no longer stand idly by, sit idly by, and let our communities kind of go to hell in the handbasket, we have the responsibility of, and I think you said this, right? That brothers, if you are not voting, if you're not participating in the political process,
Yep.
if you're not running for office, if you're not doing any of that, yeah, you don't have a right to complain. Like, you got to get somewhere and sit down. You got to be quiet, right? Um, yeah, give the same energy. It's what Dwight just said. Give the same energy. We here at the Grown Man Podcast, we love laughing, clowning. You'll see at the bottom there's a couch. We're here sitting on the couch, right? Um, and we love participating in that. What happened to Leroy? Leroy just
Oh,
turned sideways. Did Leroy turn sideways for anybody else but me? Yeah, it looks like he's frozen too. Um, so a part of what you've got to be able to do is you've got to be able to genuinely participate in the process of uplifting your community, right? You've got to vote your interest, you've got to participate in the political process with regard to your interests, that you have traditionally done a whole lot for making sure that our sisters are covered. And that is a part of our responsibility too, right? It's a part of our responsibility to make sure our sisters are covered, our kids are covered. We are the gatekeepers of our society. That is our responsibility. But you can't be there for them if you are not first postured to be there for yourself. And that means that you've got to begin to ask the hard questions of politicians. What about your platform includes me? What about your platform includes me? Right? What about your platform includes me? So, Leroy, look like you was going to say something, bro.
this gonna hurt.
Yeah,
Brothers, you say that it's the man's responsibility to protect and provide. That's what they all say, ain't it? And
they all say.
how you protecting and providing, and you ain't voting,
Yeah,
you ain't making your voice heard to those that are supposed to be providing for your community, putting into your community.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Those are real questions, brothers. And listen, for every guy, I appreciate um hmm. Leroy, can we go back and forth today? I know this is going back and forth conversation today.
Hmm.
Okay. On both sides of the aisle, right? What again? I always begin these conversations by letting everybody know, contrary to what Leroy just said, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Republican. I am an independent, right? If Coach Walter were on here today, he would tell you this. He because he said it to me privately and he said it publicly. He is going to vote for whatever candidate represents as close to universal health care as he can possibly get. That is his signature issue, right? He wants to make sure everyone, and I would expect it to be, because that is what Coach is about. He's about health and wellness,
Yeah.
fitness, right? And
Yep.
so making sure everyone has health care, I would expect that that would be a signature issue for him. When we look at the overall platform, a part of what I'm asking brothers to do is to do the difficult work of researching. Like, research both parties, research candidates, and be willing to ask the question, how does what you are planning to do in the next 4 years, 2 years, or whatever it is? I think senators get 2 years, right, Leroy? Representatives, I think, get 6. right? It's kind of crazy the way that
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. It's either
Ronnie
2 or
Walker
4.
said he's an independent as well. I love it, bro. I'm trying to get as many brothers as I can to register as independents. I really am. I want, Leroy said this yesterday. I wholeheartedly agree. He didn't say it about this, but it fits. He would have to kind of tell me that it doesn't fit, but I think it fits. That our vote from now on ought to come with some requests. Like you no longer do you get a chance to get my vote because I'm black and you Democrat. No, we're not doing that. Because by and large, both parties just kind of take advantage because they don't really pay attention to us until it's election time. Roland Martin has said that. Others that are trusted voices in our communities have said the exact same thing, right? I want us to begin to ask the question of politicians: what are your plans for the adult black male? I just want to ask the question: what are your plans for the adult black male?
And that goes for anybody
That goes for anybody.
that's running. You ask
Absolutely.
that. I'm asking that same question to each and every one of them.
Absolutely.
There needs to be a response to it.
There need and you need to pay attention to the response.
Yep.
Don't let them do what Ronnie Walker just called the okey doke. Don't let
Yep.
them do the okey doke.
Or the slip and slide.
The slip and slide. Like, well, in what I really believe. No. Just answer the question.
Yep.
If I were to look at your platform, if I was to go online and look at your platform right now, how much of your platform is committed to issues that impact adult black males?
And if it's a politician who has been in office for a number of years, does your record reflect that?
Does your record reflect positions that impact adult black males positively?
Yep.
So I'm not just asking you what your position is. Like what was your position, my guy, when we started talking about restoring voters' rights for individuals that have felonies?
Yep.
Because if your position was that you don't restore voters' rights for individuals that have felonies, then essentially for me, Leroy, I'd like you to talk about this a bit, man. Essentially for me, it almost seems like you committing double jeopardy. Like you're punishing me for the crime that I committed. And then after I get out, you're punishing me again because I can't even participate in the choices in choosing my in the overall democratic process.
Yep.
So I have a problem with anyone who doesn't restore the voting rights of individuals that have paid they paid their due. They went to jail. And if you commit crime, you're murdering people, you selling that poison to our people, yeah, you should go to jail. You should go to jail. So I'm not one of those guys who say you get a chance to rape and pillage our communities, and then there are no consequences to that. There are consequences to that. There are absolute consequences to that we ought to pay attention to. But after you've paid your due, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, whatever it is, then and you come out, you should have a fresh start. You shouldn't be there shouldn't be consequences, right, over and over again for the decisions that you have made. Let's talk about that, Leroy. Let's talk about this ongoing punitive element we have in our society that requires black men to continue to pay for the mistakes that they've made over and over again.
And yeah, and I mean, and you nailed it. I mean, that's a major issue. And for those politicians who can't answer that question or refuse to answer that question or who have voted to not deal with that question, yeah, we got a problem with you. There's a serious problem with that. That, like you said, hey, he made a mistake. He's paid for that mistake. He's done his time,
Absolutely.
and he should have the right to have his rights restored. Because here's the thing, bro. When they get back out of jail, are they now and they have a job? Do they still have to pay
Big
taxes?
taxes?
Last time I read the Constitution, it said no taxation
No
without
representation
representation.
without taxation. Right.
Isn't that
Right.
what the
Right.
Constitution supposed to be founded on?
Right.
So if you expect to get my taxes or take taxes from me, then it is my right to have a vote.
Great position, bro. Great position.
I don't know how that doesn't happen, how they've escaped that from being a part of the argument for restoring, anyone, a formerly incarcerated person, their right to vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got the right to take my taxes, don't you?
I absolutely agree with that. If I am a citizen and I'm paying
Right.
taxes, then yeah, I also have a right to determine who I'm going to vote for. And
Right.
you can't rob me. You can't choose. It can't be either or, right? You can't pick and choose what you want me to participate in the process about. You can't say I'm gonna take your taxes, but you can't vote. No, then if I can't vote, then don't take my taxes. Don't take my taxes. I'm out here willy-nilly. I'm out here, right? I'm out here making this money underground. And I'm not gonna let you take taxes from me. And at the same time, you're not willing to give me a position in the democratic process. So those of you that don't remember, let me give you what it was. We're talking about 5 things. We're talking about asking them about finance and wealth. We're asking them about credit scores. Right? We're asking them about health and wellness, right? What is your position? How do we change the mortality rate? Brothers are dying much earlier, right? The CDC is here in Atlanta. I'm going to be having some conversations with them. The CDC did some work. I was a part of a community of organizers, businessmen, and the like who invited the CDC to do some work. Shout out to at that time President of City Council Hanifa Shabazz that did great work in making sure that the CDC was involved in Delaware, in Wilmington in particular, making sure that these shootings were included in the work of the CDC. Right. So shout out to her. We're going to be talking about fatherhood and family. I want to know how you plan to address the child support issue. I want to know how you plan to address the custody issue. I want to know how many dollars and programs you want to support to make sure that fathers are involved with their children's lives. I want to
Can
know who you're supporting about that. Yes, sir.
I was wondering if I was going to be able to interject this sometime today. I don't know if you saw this or not, but this has to do with the family side, not the fatherhood.
Okay.
But I don't know if you saw this, right? The coach of the Miami Heat, what's his name? Spoelstra.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
He got a divorce.
Yes.
And then the Heat gave him
Yes.
$120. I'm sorry, not $120, $120 million.
$120 contract after the divorce.
I was like, well,
It gets none of this.
you get none of it.
Gets none of this. And so shout out to the Miami Heat who understood the assignment. Like let's wait until all this plays out. Right? Grown man stuff. That's right, Johnny Bazemore. Grown man stuff. This is the Grown Man Podcast. If you know this, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. is up top. Look at him. He's up top, leaning. That is the position he has held, leaning since his 55th birthday. This is what he's been doing.
Ain't that what Fat Joe said? Lean back. He said lean back.
So as a grown man, these are areas that we've got to talk about, right? We've got to talk about finance and wealth. We've got to talk about health and wellness. We've got to talk about fatherhood and family, and we've got to talk about business and entrepreneurship. Listen, bro, you ought to own your own. Leroy and I work together. I own, for lack of a better term, I'm the founder of the Remand Project. Leroy works alongside of me inside this business, but Leroy also owns his own business. He owns his own business. He's an entrepreneur. And believe it or not, this is what I'm telling politicians. I'm telling politicians the greatest entrepreneurs are the brothers on the block. They understand sales. They understand marketing. They understand branding. One of my favorite movies, don't judge me, but one of my favorite movies is oh man, what's the name of the movie, Leroy? I don't went blank.
Which one? You talking about Jobs or you talking about The Founder?
I'm not talking about either one.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the movie Denzel was in. He plays Bumpy. I mean, he doesn't play.
Oh, that's original. That was
American Gangster.
Yeah, American Gangster. Yeah,
right.
They say original
One
gangster.
Of my favorite
yeah, American Gangster.
He said he met with Nikki.
He played Frank Lucas.
He played Frank Lucas. Met with Nikki and said, you know,
didn't it? That was a great scene. Wasn't it?
A great scene. Blinking his eyes real fast, Leroy. He said, "You ain't got." He said, "I bought it. I own it." He said, "It's copyright infringement, nigga."
Denzel is an acting fool, man. By far.
He said, "You."
That's my favorite actor, man.
He got my dope down. Now I'm not celebrating dope. I'm not.
Right.
But I am helping you to understand that there's a whole business out there. And if we can somehow get those brothers to use their marketing genius, branding genius, sales genius with the right product, there's a lot to learn from these brothers. He said, I don't care what you call yours, but it's not blue magic.
He's like, slack a tab on it, whatever color what you want. He's like, it ain't my product.
Don't let me catch you. And Nikki said, whoa, you come up my establishment. It's the greatest scene in the movie, right?
Yeah.
And here's the deal. It's a business. It's a business out there. I hate the product. I hate the product. But I understand the business. Those are businessmen out there. What if we took the genius of the businessmen out there and helped them to develop a product that could make them millions of dollars without the threat of going to jail, without the threat of losing their lives so that their families are without them? Yeah, that's what I'm about. Developing business and then hiring our own people.
Correct.
That's grown man. Go ahead, man.
Here in Baltimore, and I don't know if you've read stories or heard the stories about it, but there's a young man that they call the Squeegee Boys.
Okay.
And they're young boys that stand on the corners, but they clean people's car windows. Windshield. They'll come up to you. They'll come up to you. They'll come and clean your windshield for money. Now, in certain places, a lot of the folks have been complaining about these squeegee boys. Y'all need to do something about these squeegee boys. They coming up to the cars and people, this, that, not wanting to get done. And they still doing it. And then they, but a lot of us have said exactly what you just said about the business and entrepreneurship about these young boys. Yeah. They were like, most of us were saying, look, these young boys could be on the street knocking somebody's head over, robbing and stealing and cheating, but here they are trying to do something legitimate. Yeah. In order to be able to survive. And that's what it is. It's a survival mode for them.
For sure.
So they were like, well, and this is what's happened with a couple of the business owners, or what the city has done somewhat. They've actually taken those young boys and actually put them in like a training program, show them how to start a business, how to legitimize, make sure that they have an LLC and all, understand bank accounts and all that stuff and everything. And that's what we should be doing. That's what the government should be doing.
Absolutely.
With our youth. And having these programs that do emphasize and do show have place a priority on entrepreneurship, on business, to
Yes.
show them options so that they don't have to go be
Yes.
drug boys, so that
Yes.
they don't have to be on the corner selling drugs.
Yes.
You keep
Absolutely.
that from happening.
Absolutely agreed.
You know.
Absolutely agreed. So number 4, business and entrepreneurship. Number 5, justice, rights, and responsibility is what we were just talking about a moment ago. The restoration of voting rights after a man has done his time. The horrendous amounts of money that brothers have to pay. There are brothers in jail right now because they can't afford bail.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about guys that have done crazy stuff. I'm talking
Right.
about guys, these small petty crimes that are in jail because they don't have $100 or they don't have $150, right? And so we've got to overhaul the way that we look at that and bring back community courts, right? Bring back community courts where a guy that is not, I'm not talking about guys that are out here murdering people. I ain't talking about, listen, lock him up. I'm a centrist, like lock him up. If he's out here killing our people, destroying our communities, yeah, lock him up. Right? But when it's a guy who is in jail because he can't afford a certain amount of money to even get out of jail, or he can't afford an attorney, or he can't, right? Like there are guys out here that can't afford representation, and recognizing that public defenders have such workloads, right? That many of these guys are just a number for these guys. Like we've got to do something about those kinds of issues. So I want to know whether or not and tomorrow we're going to deal with finance and wealth in particular, right? But I want to know whether or not you're asking your elected officials about these are areas that impact Black men.
Please write these down. Write these 5 things down, and everybody that you know is running for office, from your city council all the way up to the presidential election.
Yes.
Write these 5 questions down, because you
Here's
want to make
number
sure
1.
that
Write
they
them
have
down.
an answer. That they have an answer for each one of
Write
these.
them down. Finance and wealth. What about? And I know that for us, we don't deal with kids. But as a husband, as a father, as a community advocate, why isn't there more in the public education system? Why aren't there finance classes? Like, why are we not teaching real world skill? Right? We're arguing about what is it that they're arguing about now, Leroy, with regard to certain things that they take out of the history books and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, the what is it? The
y'all know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's I forgot what they want to call it. What they do call it, but they're trying to say that narrative. They're trying to say that they there's certain things that shouldn't be taught in schools.
Yeah,
because it can damage or be a detriment.
Here's the deal. I couldn't care less. My responsibility. CRT. Spell it out for me.
What's the CRT mean? Can't believe I can't remember that.
I remember.
Critical race theory. Critical race theory. That's it. Critical race theory.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so you can have whatever position you have on critical race theory, right? We can debate that. We can definitely debate that. But here's my deal. Like, the history of our people, that education belongs to us. Like I'm gonna make sure my sons understand the history. That is something we celebrated Kwanzaa this year, right? We did several podcasts around Kwanzaa this year. We got about I don't know how much time we got, y'all. But just rock with us until you want to fall off. We ain't gonna go beyond 11:30. We may go beyond 11:15. Hang it if you can. If your boss come in your area, just throw your coat over your computer, act like you're doing something else.
Tell them you in training. Tell you taking a training program.
Taking a
You're in a
training.
training program.
Yeah,
You're in
this,
a training
exactly
program this
what
morning.
it
You're
is.
taking the training workshop this morning.
So I think I think there's some other things that we're missing in the educational process. Critical race theory is a conversation I think needs to be held, right? Because when we start talking about, changing the narrative, like black people benefited from slavery, what the hell?
Right.
Like we learned skill in slavery. What? Like
Yeah.
we took a trip on a boat like it was the Love Boat. No. No, we can't let you get away with that, right? But I also don't want to take us, Leroy, so far into that we think we're doing something great by tearing down statues and none of that matters to me. Remember the time where there was a period where we were just tearing down statues, monuments, right? We were painting streets and that don't move the needle. You want to move the needle for me? Give a course in every elementary school, every high school, every middle school around how to handle your finance. Or otherwise you'll end up being like me. Years ago, I had to file bankruptcy years ago. I didn't handle my money well. My credit score tanked. I had to recover my credit score. See, that's the real world stuff that we're not talking about. All this other stuff just doesn't matter to me. And Leroy may have a different take on it, but let's just be real clear about this. I want to begin to see the things that are going to make a difference in our community. We are huge consumers, but we don't know how to handle our money. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about learning that in the classroom? Because the numbers don't lie. Now, some of this other stuff that they lying about, they lying, but the numbers don't lie. There's there's a way to be able to handle your money so that when you come out, you're not hit with huge amounts of debt and all of those kinds of things. There are things that are not being taught that I want to know what these politicians their position is with those kinds of things more than I want to know some of these other subjective realities. I don't care what you teach. I'm gonna teach my son what I want him to know. I'm gonna teach my daughter what I want her to know, and I'm gonna set so that when she goes into the classroom, she can have an intelligent conversation from our point of view, right? Because the truth of the matter is, education is not supposed to teach you what to think. Education is supposed to teach you how to think.
Say that again, please.
Education is
Yes.
not designed to teach you what to think, it's designed to teach you how to think. So I want to make sure that what we're doing and when we're having these conversations with politicians, that brothers, we're well versed on what our position is. We're well versed on our history. We're well versed on those. That's what it means to be a grown man. So these are the 5 things that we want you guys to be able to ask questions about: finance and wealth. We want you to be able to ask questions about um, health and wellness. We want you to ask questions about fatherhood and family. We want you to ask questions about business and entrepreneurship. And we want you to ask questions about rights and responsibilities. Those are the things we want you to be able to ask questions about. Listen, education is not meant to teach you what to think, it's meant to teach you how to think. Critical thinking is important. Okay, critical thinking is important. Yeah, Dwight, it's important. And as a man who is called to lead a family, as a man who is called to lead a community, you got to be able to sit your family down and say, "Hey, y'all, let's talk through some things."
And I don't know if you saw the movie King Richard,
Yes, absolutely.
but there was a scene in the movie where there's the family is sitting in the living room, and and they wanted to watch something, or they were watching something. I think they watched a movie, or it might have even been with tape of theirs or whatever. But he was there, him and his wife, and he asked each of one of his children what they got out of that movie. What was it that they saw? It's our responsibility as
Talk,
men,
talk, man.
as leaders, to make sure and to be the first teachers. People want to understand this. The
Bruh,
husband and the
mess,
wife.
don't mess them up. Don't mess them up. Don't mess them up. You gonna mess them up. They get ready to learn something right here. They get ready to learn something right here. I know exactly where you're going, and I want you to say it with your chest.
Yeah, because we're the first teachers, and so that when our children do go to school,
That's
they
right.
know
That's right, bro.
the information that they're being taught. Be like, no, that's not right now. I
That's
ain't
not
telling
right.
you,
Yeah,
ain't
that's
telling
not
your
right.
kid to tell your teacher to tell them that they're wrong. Nothing like
But
that.
here's the deal. If my child goes
Hmm.
to school and is
Hmm.
taught something that is
Yep.
against what I've taught them, I give my child permission to say, yeah, that ain't what I learned.
Yep.
I know that's what I got to learn here in order to pass this course, but that ain't true.
But that's not true. That's
That
not
ain't
right.
true, right? And if they want to suspend my child, come for my child, now I'm going to the school.
Right.
I'm not going to the school on no okey doke stuff that we be going to school now on, like your child cussed the teacher out for GP and then you want to go defend it. No, don't defend your child, because that ain't the way the world works.
Right.
Your child
Right.
beating up the teacher and you want to go, well, what did you do? The teacher ain't do nothing to warrant a beating from a
Yeah,
child in the school,
exactly.
right?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. But if your child is defending a point then you got to have your child's back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he did. He hit him in the head, Dwight, didn't he? That Negro hit him in the head. Leroy is absolutely right. Go ahead, man. I apologize.
No, it's just it's important that we understand that, and to your point about what's being taught in school and everything like that, with the critical race theory, you have churches now that have said, "Hey, y'all ain't gonna teach them,
We,
but we will.
yes,
We
sir.
gonna teach it.
Yes, sir.
Whatever y'all say y'all gonna drop the ball on, we done picked it up because we gonna show you." And that's the way that we as men, we as parents need to be. Look, y'all can not teach it there, but you can't deny me from teaching it to my
That is
child.
right, bro.
Cause hey y'all, the internet is the great equalizer. The World Wide Web is the great equalizer. There's everything that you need to know out there. They can't hide it. I've learned so much just through TikTok, because TikTok has this one, and I don't know whose channel it is, but they do these history moments that you didn't know about,
Wow.
and I get them, and I'm just like, and it was one, and I believe I saved it. It talks about all of the black inventors, the inventors that have invented. I was just blown away. I was like, darn, I didn't know that. And I'm talking stuff like, well, I already knew about the ironing board. I knew about the little filter thing that's in your light.
Yeah.
That with Thomas, they give Thomas Edison the credit for the light bulb.
Yeah.
But that little wire piece in there,
Yeah.
black man,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
get that light without it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So those are the things that we got to understand, that we need to be fighting for as men when it comes to our children's education, when it comes to understanding your rights. Know the law. I ain't saying you got to be a lawyer, but
Oh,
understand
oh.
Understand the law, know your rights. So that, brothers, when you do get pulled over, and you will, you understand what it is that you need to do.
And let me say this to you, brothers. Leroy and I may disagree on this. I don't think so. But know when it's time. Like you in the backwoods on some backcountry road.
For sure.
Yeah, and
For
you get
sure.
one of these white guys pull you
Yeah.
over that don't give a damn about you, and
Yep.
now you like, why you pull me? No, no, sir, no, sir,
Yeah.
no, sir.
You,
That ain't
you
that ain't the time.
you will wind up, and I don't know if you saw this or not too, down in Mississippi, where they found those 250 bodies in the back of the jail.
Wow.
250 bodies, bro. Just said nothing to the people, to the families of the people, just buried these bodies. And I'm just like, stuff like that
Yeah.
they're attempting to do when
Yeah.
it comes to when it comes to us, and when it comes to our rights, and the things that we have a right to, or that we should be responsible for. We've got to stand up for them.
Yeah.
We've got to be willing to teach our children, as as crazy as it sounds, as crazy as it is, and as angry as we may get about it, they got to know about it.
Yep.
They got to know the truth, just
Yep.
like their children have to know the truth. It's a mess, but in order for it not to repeat itself, it's got to be talked about. It can't be swept under the rug like they did with Black Wall Street for over 50 years.
Yeah.
You couldn't talk about it. We don't talk about that around here. And if you did, something was going to happen to you. Those are the things that we're talking about here today, y'all.
Yeah. And those are, again, don't miss the premise of today's podcast. Today's podcast is about rising voices, black men, and the power shift in politics. Crystal said yes, and they have to pay for the bodies of their family members.
Right. Right.
Crystal, tell me what she means by that, Leroy, when she says they have to pay. Who has to pay? Is it the, oh, it's the family members that have to pay for the bodies of the family. The She said yes, and they have to pay for the body. Who's the they, Crystal? I just want to make sure I understand your comment. I think I do, but I want you to type it in again for me.
Yeah, because she's saying they have to pay for the bodies of the family
So
members.
I'm assuming it's the families, like those 250 bodies that they found that you were talking about. Now the
Mhm.
families now have to, let me see.
The family shouldn't have to pay anything for that,
Yeah,
because one, they never got any kind of closure, because these people were evidently missing,
yeah,
and no, they weren't told anything about it.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then two, the whoever that, I guess, the sheriff or whoever that was that buried those bodies should be sued.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
Crump. I think
yeah.
that's what Crump, the attorney Crump, is
Big
there
Crump.
for. I think he's going to take on the cases
Got it,
for that, to bring justice for that.
got it.
So yeah,
Got it.
justice
So,
is
so
real,
Chris, let
y'all.
us know if that's what you meant, or if you meant something else while we take the hoodies off, because it's time to take the hoodies off. It's almost 11:30, and we want to respect your time. Ronnie Walker said he has to go. Have an incredible day. You as well, black man. We'll be sharing the podcast. Thank you, everyone. Don't keep this to yourself. Everyone that enjoys our podcast, do me a favor, like, share. Also, go to Donald Morton Remand. Um, Crystal says, if I was the sister of one of the bodies, I would be responsible for the removal of the body.
Oh, okay, the exhuming. I think initially because it was one gentleman that they were looking for, and they had to pay for the body to be exhumed, and
Wow.
they wound up finding out about the other bodies in doing that. I believe
Wow.
that's how heavy. So yeah, Chris, I don't think that would be. I don't think that's right that the families would have to pay for that. I would think that that the
And what he's saying is, I don't think that that's morally right, right? So
yeah
it would be problematic for my family to have to incur the cost of doing that work. That work should be taken care of by someone else. And
yeah.
I absolutely 100% agree with that. Um, and she said, yes, brother Leroy, absolutely. Yeah, without question.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Leroy, it's 11:28.
oh,
And so we gonna have to get out of here, man. There's always so much more to say.
I know, right?
Those of you that have not joined our YouTube channel, do me a favor, join the YouTube channel. Go to Donald Morton Dash Remand, and become a subscriber. Subscribe to that channel. We want to get those numbers up so that we can start doing some other things there. It's always a numbers game, so we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to boost the numbers. Thank y'all for hanging out with us every single day, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we talk grown man stuff on the Grown Man Podcast, as we talk grown man stuff on the Grown Man Podcast, as we talk grown man stuff on the Grown Man Podcast. Uh,
it's hurting them to say
it,
stuff,
it,
y'all.
it,
I
it,
know it is. It's
it's
hurting them to
hurt
say.
my
Just
feelings.
say grown man conversation, bro. Say
It's grown man
grown man.
conversation on the Grown Man Podcast. Um, If you have not gotten the book, go to www.theremandbook.com, www.theremandbook.com. You see it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Order your copy of the book immediately after I'm off this podcast with Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. I am going to stand in my doorway in the cold until they deliver my books. That's how excited your boy is. It's like Christmas around here. We still got our Christmas tree up. We have a white Christmas tree with silver and black ornaments because
Wow.
everything black around here. We blackety black around this piece, right? So I want to make sure that you order the book. I know I won't get him. I won't get him to say it, Dwight. But if you are interested in the book, uh, thank you for those of you who have said, "Hey, not only are you helping brothers, but you're also helping ladies understand what to look for, what the questions
Yeah.
should be, what the criteria is, what the standard is." We set the
That's
standard.
right.
We
That's
set the
right.
standard, right? Remand is the place that sets the standard, and brothers, we holding brothers accountable. Brothers hold me accountable, so it's not just me and Leroy holding a bunch of brothers accountable. Man, they hold us accountable too. Ain't no big eyes little u's in Remand. I just happen to be the founder. I brought it all together. God used me to do that, and I'm grateful that he used me to do that. But everybody's equal in Remand, right? We hold one another accountable because the overall goal is to transform an entire culture, and we can only do that when brothers are solid. So, and then also, if you decide that you want, if you want the cat, Crystal said, y'all sure do. Hats off to y'all. Thanks for what y'all do. Absolutely grateful. Thank you for your
Thank
encouragement,
you.
Crystal. Yeah, for real, for real. Thank you for your encouragement. And that really is our goal. We don't know it all, but what we do know is we are committed to living lives that are consistent with what we believe manhood looks like. And we don't hit the mark every day. So we don't want to come on here and act like we hit the mark every day. We won't hit the mark every day. Um, but I'm after it every day. That's my goal. My goal is mastery every single day. Mastery every single day. Hey, did you hear me? I said mastery every single day. That is my goal, right? So thank you, Crystal, for your encouragement. You hanging out with us every day. Thank you, Dwight, for hanging out with us every day. We're grateful. We ain't really. My mom used to say this, Leroy. That's my baby. She used to say, "Baby, you know, a pastor ain't a pastor without people." like if you don't have people, you ain't no pastor. You can be a great speaker, you can be all that, but if you ain't got people, you're not a pastor. So
Yep.
what we understand here, I'm sure Leroy would concur. We ain't nothing without y'all. We be on here talking to ourselves, and we do that sometimes too. Just we talk to ourselves, clown, laugh. We just let y'all in on the good time that we have with one another, the conversations that we have with one another. Go ahead, Leroy, and then you can have the last words, man. We'll be out of here.
Nah, like my pastor say, if you call yourself a leader and ain't nobody following you, you just going for a walk.
Just taking a walk. Yeah, you just taking a walk.
You just taking a walk.
Not no leader. So
absolutely, man.
So we love y'all. We respect y'all. You were going to say something, bro? I apologize.
No, just this is what we do. We talk about those things that everybody else is not talking about.
Yeah,
you're gonna come here for grown man conversations. Yeah. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
For real.
Absolutely. Let me make sure everybody. I'm just kind of wiping my camera off so that you can see. I don't want you to have any fuzz.
He think he a model, yo. He think he about y'all done did it now. Y'all done did it now. Y'all ain't gonna be able to stop him now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something like this. Yeah, I'm gonna have 50 different poses. All of them gonna look the same. I'm gonna have 50 different poses to show y'all this merch that we got. Right. Great quote. Can you put that in the comment, Leroy? Which quote? You know what you're talking about, bro?
It may be the one about the leader.
Okay. Crystal, which one? So that he can make sure that he puts it in the comment. And then Lala said, go eat lunch. Yes, ma'am. I'm on my way to eat lunch right now. Yes, ma'am. I promise. You weren't about me eating lunch. You eat lunch too, because you the one that don't. Yeah, she said the one about leadership.
What's wrong with a tablet? I'll put it in there. I'm working on it. I'll put it in there.
She'll put it in. Tablet. Oh, you talking about the quote that your pastor gave?
I think that's the one she's talking
about.
Yeah,
that's a John Maxwell quote. Here's what he said. Yeah. John Maxwell says, if you say you're a leader and no one's following, you are simply taking a walk.
A walk. Simply taking. Speaking of him real quick, this is one of the books I'm reading right now.
Okay.
By John Maxwell.
Oh, I like that.
It's by John Maxwell, man.
I like John. I absolutely like John. Hey, y'all, we got to get out of here. It's 11:35. We said we would be done at 11:30. We got to get out of here. Look for us tonight.
Yep.
We will
be pop here. Up. We go what they said, we gonna pull up. Isn't that what they said? We gonna pull up.
We gonna pull up. Let y'all know the books have arrived. And you will be getting your books soon after they arrive. We will send them out. I will sign them and send them off to you. Love and respect, y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
Deuces.